Is it possible that Koby Altman has been the perfect general manager for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Going back to the offseason, looking at the trade deadline, reviewing the team as they head into the playoffs and the future, has Altman been the word perfect? Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you talking Cavaliers basketball. Cavs continue to rally off wins, getting closer and closer to that 1 seed, getting closer and closer to the NBA playoffs. I know it's hard to wait, but night after night you just want to see that they win, and you want to see that they got closer to the 1 seed, and that's why we're going to have a chance today to discuss about Koby Altman, who should be in the conversation for front office executive of the year. His whole staff thinks he's done. Going back to the summer, we're going to jump into that. How the Cavaliers did during the season to make sure they were ready to go. And then, of course, as they head into the playoffs, that's one thing, and into the future, that's another. So we're excited to break down the Cavaliers GM who's been with them. David Griffin was a great GM, but Altman's had a long tenure and a lot he's done. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think he took over just before that 2018 year, and the first thing he had to facilitate was the Kyrie trade. We're not going to go back that far, but man, does he have a track record. So before we get this thing going, we crossed over 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate everybody who subscribed. We love it. It's a big part of what we've done since the summer is build this thing up, build guys that care about the channel, or in the comments, or sharing the video. So if you've watched one video, if you've watched 100 videos, number one thing you can do to help the channel is obviously subscribe if you haven't, and drop down in the comments, because I love hearing from you guys. I love reading the comments. Absolutely, I read the comments. If you want to clown me, go ahead. I'll read it. It's just part of the process when the videos go up, and reviewing them and working on the next one, and so forth. So go ahead and drop down in the comments and subscribe if you haven't. Now, let's get to the Cavaliers, led by Koby Altman. Am I out of pocket for saying perfect? I know that's a stern word, but I kind of broke it down into the 3 phases that would matter for the Cavaliers going back to the summer. And, you start with the offseason, right? The coaching search was difficult. It was difficult. The decision, first off, to get rid of J.B. Bickerstaff really was up in the air, because the Cavs had gotten better and farther under Bickerstaff, but the decision had to be made quickly. How do the guys feel about him, number one, and what is his value to moving forward efficiently, right? Is he the best fit for the Cavaliers moving forward? Altman kind of has listened to the players a lot, so has Atkinson. So the decision to go with Kenny Atkinson, I think, worked in his favor going back to the offseason. I think it was a good move. I think it has paid off for the Cavaliers, obviously. I don't know who would debate that. Still have a while to go. We still have the playoffs, but we're talking offseason right now. It was a win to let go of J.B. Bickerstaff. I think he took this team as far as he could. They heard the same voice over and over, day after day, and I thought it was a good move to kind of move on there. Solved that Donovan Mitchell controversy quick. Gets him to sign an extension, Allen to sign an extension, re-signs Okoro, Mobley to sign an extension. I mean, I'm listing giant things that he just took care of. The Okoro thing took a little longer, but that was a guy you couldn't have walk for nothing. Altman steps in. He gets that deal done. I like it. He keeps this roster together. You have Garland another 3-4 years. You have Allen another 5. You have Mitchell as long as he wants to be here for 2 or 3, which actually, if you think about Mitchell, is pretty much perfect, because Donovan Mitchell's aging. 2 more years is probably the perfect timeline for him. So that's the preseason. That's coming into the year. That's before you even get to the Cavaliers playing, doing all he can to make sure when the season hits that we're a winner. And I would give him an A on that. I would say he did a great job on that. I would say he was perfect on that. He did some really, really great things in the offseason. Again, the extensions, the coaching changes, some other here's and there's he did with the roster. I really think he had a perfect offseason. I don't know if he could have done anything else. Look, I'm always going to throw in that little mention of another big man. That's just my weird obsession that they don't have enough third big man or second center, on this team. But, hey, I'll still say it was a really, really great offseason. Now, getting to the season. The DeAndre Hunter trade was gigantic. Didn't even think they could get him. Didn't think they could get him for almost nothing. And not only did they get him for nothing, but they got off the Niang contract. So I think the Cavaliers are one of the few teams in the NBA, and again, this goes back to Koby Altman. I want to give Koby Altman his credit. They don't have a bad contract on their roster. Every player is the great players are locked up long term. Even if they are locked up 3-4 years, they're very tradable. Like Jarrett Allen, I think is a perfect like, hey, we could keep him if you want. He's locked up, or if you're done with him, somebody will give up something for him, and he's multiple years. You've got guys on the cheap like Jalen Tyson. You added players like Javonte Green and DeAndre Hunter, obviously huge, and Hunter in the trade multiple years down the line. I think that's huge. And I thought that the two anchors, and if you watch this channel, you know for me I'm still skeptical on Strus, but I thought the Strus and Niang contracts absolutely horrific. 4+ years of those guys on this team playing minutes, not just on the on off the bench, and they were playing. They were an important part of this team. I mean, the Cavaliers were throwing junk at the wall against the Orlando Magic, hoping something would stick. So for Koby Altman to step in here and right is wrong. Not that Niang was a gigantic wrong, I guess, but to move on from him while acquiring DeAndre Hunter, 6th Man of the Year candidate, locked up for multiple years, friends with Ty Jerome, all this and that. Really, really good stuff. That's in-season stuff that, he decides not to just sit back, relax, and hope a trade finds him, which really, that's how it looked. It looked like they were just going to make some salary cap moves, but instead, you improve the roster, right? You're full of good contracts. You're full of short-term contracts or low contracts to go along with that. Mitchell, Allen, Garland, Mobley. Just really, really put this thing together nicely during the season, right, as well as before the season. So I'm giving them good grades on both. Again, I'm going to slide in that little, I think they should have acquired a big man, that Javonte Green spot, part of that Hunter trade, another trade, that Valanciunas trade. Still drives me nuts. I still think they could have figured that out, but so on and so forth. Now, I want to talk about the future. Cavaliers are well set for the future. Donovan Mitchell is going to be here 2 more years. They got that settled. They can cut him off there. Or they can bring him back another year after. Evan Mobley, a star in the making, hitting another level. We've talked about that a bunch on this channel. Perfect. Locked him up. He's looking good. You got him the coach to make him better. It's great. You hit on your number 1 draft pick, Jalen Tyson. You haven't had a pick in a while because of the Mitchell trade. Tyson looks great. Looks NBA playable right now. Only going to get better. Only going to get closer with the team. I honestly hope they don't trade him. I just hope they find a role for him, especially as your team kind of dips in and dips out. Great. Again, Jarrett Allen locked up for multiple years, and you have that opportunity to trade him if needed. I think Isaac Okoro is the same thing. He's got 2 more years after this year, and I think that's a very tradable contract, floating at really not much a year. So, again, Koby Altman took care of business before the season, during the season, after the season, into the future. You have a young team. You have a hungry team. You got everybody kind of sitting in their prime, locked up, tradable if need be. But you got some younger guys you can play. Really, the only tough part this offseason, if you want to say the future, you got to lock up Ty Jerome. But, I mean, you look fantastic for signing Ty Jerome to a 2-year deal. I think Koby Altman has been very, very good. Drop down in the comments. Was his preseason perfect? His in-season perfect? The future? Has Koby Altman been the perfect GM for the Cleveland Cavaliers? I think so. I think it's been a perfect season for him. If you want to go back, you want to go to the past, he's had his mistakes. But as far as this offseason to now, I think he's been perfect, and the Cavs GM has them set for the future.